Hello children, today I am going to teach you Unit 7 Colors of Silence, published by National Book Trust of India. This lesson published by National Book Trust of India. This poem about the physically disabled persons, that we should not neglect them, and they have power to do something. We should not say they are burden to us. They are not actually burden to us. They have one willpower to do, to show something to the people with other sense organs. If he is blind, he have other sense organs very strong, and he can do anything with that help of that other sense organs. So we should not neglect them, and we should not show courtesy to them, but we should encourage them that in their path, whatever they want to do, we should encourage them. So here, this book, the National Book Trust, it is an Indian publishing house founded in 1957. This is an Indian publishing house, and this one established in the year 1957 as an autonomous body under the Ministry of Education, Government of India. This is under the Government of India Trust, and this is one established in the year 1957. This is a publishing house. And here in this lesson you are going to learn how a deaf person reached his goal, how he became a big artist. So here, before reading the lesson, here one few dialogues given here. Before going to the lesson, we will read these dialogues. See here, in page number 141. Lakshmi, Gauri, why didn't you come to school yesterday? Here conversation given between two girls, Lakshmi and Gauri. Maybe they were good friends, and Lakshmi is asking to Gauri that why she didn't come yesterday to school. I had to attend to my brother Gopal, who is hospitalized. That Gauri said that I went to meet my brother Gopal, that he was hospitalized yesterday, so we went to meet that boy, that brother Gopal. Really? What's wrong with him? Lakshmi asked. That this is usually we are also talking to with our friends. If they went anywhere, means next day we will ask them, is it where you gone yesterday? Why you didn't come yesterday? And if they said anything, means we will also asking them what happened, why that one happened. This type we will talk to them. Like so here, Lakshmi asked, what happened to your brother? Why you hospitalized him? Gauri said, he met with an accident last Saturday. That Gauri said, he met an accident. In accident, he hospitalized. That he was injured too much. My God, how did it happen? Is he seriously injured? That Lakshmi asked that, oh, no, it should not happen. So, how is his condition? Whether he injured more or less? How he is? Whether he is serious, in his condition is very serious or what? And he injured more or what? This type Lakshmi asked to Gauri. Gauri, he was walking along a narrow bridge without railing. He just slipped and fell into the river, and his head hit a rock. He has multiple fractures, but we are lucky that he is out of danger. See what happened here, children? When he was walking on the bridge without rails, without side any bridges, that bridge, some bridges they didn't have anything beside that one. So what happened? He saw that river by bending, and he fall down into the water, and that rock hit to his head, and so many fractures. So so many body parts were fractured when he fell into the river, and luckily he is alive, but his body is full of fractures only. This one Gauri said to Lakshmi. That's good. So he will be fit soon to attend the school, I hope. That we will also hope like so only. Anyway, any messages we got this type means we will wish them to speedy recovery. Like so, Lakshmi also wished Gauri that he will recover soon and he will attend the school. But Gauri, what she said, see here, no, Lakshmi, he has lost his sense of hearing. See what happened here? He lost his sense of hearing only. When he fall from up to down in the river, no, that time he got big injuries and fractures. In that one, what happened? He lost his hearing capacity only. I am afraid he will be deaf. For the rest of his life, he will be burden on others. See, last sentence, this is very bad sentence, that he will be burden on others. No, that we should not think that disabled person are burden. They can lead, maybe he may be deaf, but he had a good eyesight and all, no, he can lead his life in some other way, but he don't wants to become burden on other people. He will live his independent life, and we should not think about the disabled person that they are burden. This is wrong. We should not think like so, that physically disabled, maybe blind, maybe deaf, whatever it may be, they all become burden on the society or family members. So here that question only, we have read this conversation. Do you agree with the Gauri that Gopal will be useless and remain a burden on others? Is it possible that Gopal will remain burden and useless? No. In other way he will start to lead his life. He will achieve his goal in some other his way. Is it, children? So we should not think that disabled persons are burden to the society. So here, colors of silence. Here one lesson, that National Book Trust of India, it published this lesson, that colors of silence. See this heading only very interesting, that colors of silence, that colors become very silent in that person's life, that we want always colorful life, no, that colors only become silent in one boy's life. So here about this lesson, that in page number 141 I will give line by line explanation. Satish, why didn't you come to school today? That one boy, Surender, maybe his good friend, maybe. That in school also it happens. If you didn't come to school means your friends starts to ask you why you didn't come to school. That day will be bore for them. Your good friends, if any good friend left the school one day means you will feel bored that whole day how to spend. Is it, children? Like so what happened here? That to Satish one boy asked why you did not come to school yesterday. Today he came to his home only and he asked, if you are too close means you will go to their house only and you will ask them why you not came to school today. In the evening time you will go. Is it? Like so here, Satish, why did not you come to school today? Surinder had to repeat the question 3 times before Satish heard him. He was lying on the bed, his eyes closed, sweat glistening on his brows. See what happened here, children? That Satish, he was very much ill that day. He didn't come to school. But Surender, he went to that boy's house and he asked why he didn't come to school that day. But what happened? He didn't hear. That 3 times he repeated. That Surender repeated the same question 3 times. Means you will understand what will be the problem in Satish. Is it, children? If a person not hearing one time means that he will imagine he may be deaf. We will talk to our friends also. If he didn't listen, is it? Like so what happened here? Satish, he repeated thrice that same question. Then if that Satish was not in a position to reply also. He was so much ill and that what happened, he was laying on the bed. He slept on the bed and his eyes were closed. His eyes closed and a sweat glistening on his brows. Glistening means shining. Glisten means shine. That sweat was shining on his eyebrows. That Satish eyes, that sweat was shining, and no, I am not well, replied Satish. After thrice, that's Surender asked the question, same question 3 times. Then Satish heard that question and he replied that no, I am not well, so I didn't come to school today. Replied Satish. Of late he had been down with something or the other. That what happened here, children? That after asking 3 times same question, after taking some time, Satish replied that he was not well. ನನಗೆ ಮೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಷಾರಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ಕೂಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸುರೇಂದರ್ ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನು 3 ಸರ್ತಿ ಕೇಳಿದ ಆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನು ಆ ಉತ್ತರವನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. Why? What's the matter with you, Satish? His friend asked with concern. Concern means worry. You will also have concern with your friends, no? That if they didn't come to school means you will call them immediately. Why you didn't come? What happened to you? Are you okay? This type questions you are going to ask your friends. Like so, Surender also asked question to Satish with a concern, with a worry that what happened to this guy. He put his hand on his forehead to feel it. So what he did, he put his hand, ಕೈಯನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಹಣೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಡಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸತೀಶಿಗೆ ಸುರೇಂದರ್. ಆಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನಾಯ್ತು ನಿನಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ಇದರಿಂದ ಆ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ ಕಾಳಜಿಯಿಂದ ಅವನನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. I don't know, Surender. It's been pretty bad since the last operation on my leg. That he got an operation. Then this sentence shows that Satish got an operation before he became ill. No, that he got an operation. After that operation, that due to infection or what, he was getting again and again illness. After that operation only, his health become totally upset and he was getting always illness. I get these terrible headaches and then feel as if everything is going dark and silent. That he said to his friend. Satish said to Surender that after leg operation, I am not feeling well actually. Physically I am not fit and something darkness and silence is occurring, and if anybody is talking means I am not able to listen. That what's the problem? I don't know. This type Satish replied to Surender. I feel miserable. Miserable means unhappy. That he was feeling unhappy because something is happening to him, but he was not understanding what is going on, what is happening to him. That physically he was not fit, that much he know. After the operation, he was not well. He was getting again and again illness and he was becoming unhappy with that illness. But why are you speaking so softly? I can barely hear you. Barely means hardly. That actually Surender was shouting very loudly and talking to Satish, but he is telling that Satish is telling that you are talking too slowly. Why are you talking so slowly? You talk little bit loudly. This time Satish is telling to Surender. Surender ಯಾಕಿಷ್ಟು ಮೆಲ್ಲಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಸುರೇಂದರ್ ಶೌಟಿಂಗ್ ಜೋರಾಗಿನೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಅಗದಿ ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಸತೀಶನಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Surender gave him a strange look. That he surprised him. Surprisingly he saw that Satish, that he was talking so loudly, ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಅವನಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸತೀಶನಿಗೆ. He had certainly not been speaking softly. Actually, he was not talking softly. ಅವನು ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಜೋರಾಗಿನೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದು ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸತೀಶನಿಗೆ. Has he lost his hearing? Wondered Surender. Surender after that Satish, when he asked why are talking so much slowly, means actually Surender wondered with his words that I am talking so loudly, I am shouting actually, ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಒದರ್ತಾ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆದ್ರೂ ಇವನು ಇಷ್ಟು ಮೆಲ್ಲಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಂದಮೇಲೆ ಅವನು ಕಿವಿ ಕೇಳಿಸೋದು ನಿಂತು ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. He got some problem in his ear. This type he started to think about Satish. Poor Satish. He had been ill ever since he came back from the holiday in Kashmir the previous year. That what happened, children, when he gone to Kashmir for holidays, no? That time when he got an accident. That due to that accident, that he was suffering now physically. So many problems occurred in his body after that accident. There had been an accident when he went hiking with his father and brother Inder. That with his brother Inder and father, he went to Kashmir. There they went for hiking. Hiking means trekking. Trekking. They gone for trekking with that father, brother and himself, that Satish. The three members, they went for hiking. When last holidays they went to Kashmir. There they went for a hiking. They were crossing a rickety bridge over some rapids. That ricket means very weak. Ricket means very weak bridge they were passing. The boys stood and looked down at the swirling water below them. What happened? They were going on weak bridge. They were traveling on that weak bridge. That boys, they were looking downwards because their river is there and their swirling water that we are calling water, more force water, that ಸುಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ನೀರು ತಿರುಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, that's calling a swirling. That they wants to see that water and they were bent downwards and they were watching that water from the bridge. ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ನಿಂದ ಗಾಡಿ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಬಗ್ಗಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ನೀರನ್ನು ಅವರು ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Look how the water is rushing at that spot. Satish pointed out to his brother. That Satish wants to show something to his brother. That he bent and he wants to show to his brother. No, that time what happened here, children? Satish, just then his foot slipped and losing his balance, he fell into the rapids. That what happened here, children? That rapids means a dangerous part of river which flows very fast because it is steep and sometimes narrow. Rapids means it's a very dangerous place in the river, children. That water will flows very fast, very force in that place. That what happened here? That he wants to show that one to Satish and that his leg slipped and he fell down in the river only. His screams were lost in the rushing sound of the water. He shouted loudly. Scream means ಚೀರುವುದು, ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಚೀರ್ದ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ನೀರಿನ ಶಬ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಅವ್ನು ಚೀರಿದ್ರು, ಆ ನೀರಿನ ಶಬ್ದ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇತ್ತು. When he regained consciousness, his legs were in a plaster cast and his head hurt badly. What happened here, children? That afterwards what happened, he don't know. He fell down, that much only he know. That afterwards when he got consciousness, that time he identified that his legs and are plastered, that covered with a plaster, and his body was hurt badly. That so many injuries came in his body and that his leg was plastered. When he became conscious, he was bruised and aching all over. That bruised means injured. Bruised means injured. He got lot of injuries in his body when he fell down into the river. Though his legs healed, they remained weak, requiring several operations on them. So what happened here, children? That injury healed, but that after several operations his legs become very weak. That after continue operations and all, that injury healed, but the pain and all weakness was still remained in his body. Worse, he suffered frequently from bouts of fever and infections, especially of the ear. Bouts means short period. Again and again he was getting fever and infections in his body after that operation, because he became very weak. After that operation he became very weak and again he was getting fever and infection in his body. Short period only he was getting again and again illness, fever, weakness and infections in his body. Especially of the ear. He got infection in his ear also. That due to that problem, now he was again and again becoming ill, fever, illness, weakness and all is there, but he got infection in his ears also, so he was unable to hear properly. Seeing that Satish was in pain, Surender now got up to go. Will you come to school tomorrow? He asked. He asked one question to Satish that, will you come to school tomorrow? Today you didn't come, no? Okay, tomorrow will you come to school? But he was not in a position to come to school. Satish was very ill and he became very weak after that operation. Satish shook his head. He only shook his head and he said, no, he won't come because he was not well. How he will come, no? So he said, no, I won't come. A slow tear trickled down his cheek after Surender left. See what happened here, children? That tears, ಕಣ್ಣೀರು ಕೆನ್ನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹರಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಷ್ಟು ಅವನಿಗೊಂಥರ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಗು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆಟ ಆಡಬೇಕು, ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಆಸೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್, ನೋ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹಿಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಕೇಮ್. ಕಣ್ಣೀರು ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆನ್ನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹರಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. Trickled means flow in a small stream. Trickled. Flow in a small stream. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಝರಿಯ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣೀರು ಅವನ ಕೆನ್ನೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹರಿತಾ ಕೆಳಗಿಳಿತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ನೋವಿನಿಂದ ಅವನು ಅಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. It felt as if some huge weight was pressing upon his head, making everything seem far away and silent. That something was happening to him. That something pressure is there on his head, and he has a big weight on his head. ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೋ ಭಾರ ಕೂತಂಗೆ, ಏನೋ ವಜ್ಜ, ತಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಜ್ಜ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಏನು ಕೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಸೈಲೆಂಟು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಾರ್ಕು, ಈ ಥರ ಏನೋ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಬಾಯ್. He felt helpless and upset at being confined to bed as he was. He was restricted. Confined means restricted to bed only. He was unable to come outside also. Due to that problem, what happened? He restricted to his bed. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹಾಸಿಗೆ ಮೇಲೆನೆ ಮಲಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. He restricted his area to bed only, and he was not able to come out of his room also, and he restricted to that area only. He was restricted himself. The silence was worst. Everything seemed like scenes from some pantomime show. That pantomime means a dramatic entertainment show. That he was thinking that silently one drama is going without dialogue. It's not possible to see drama without dialogues. ನಾಟಕ ಒಂದು ಡೈಲಾಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಏನು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಲೈಕ್ ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪೆಂಡ್, ಹಿಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಡ್ರಾಮಾ. ಡೈಲಾಗ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರಾಮಾ, ನಾಟಕವಾಗಿ ಅವನ ಜೀವನ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಹಿ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸೊ. He wanted to scream to break the silence but did not. That he wanted to shout loudly, ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಚೀರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ ಸೈಲೆನ್ಸ್, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಕಿವಿನೇ ಕೇಳಿಸಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಮಾತೇ ಕೇಳಿಸಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದೊಂಥರ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅವನ ಜೀವನ. ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಚೀರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಕೈಲೇ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ದ 8-year-old ಬಾಯ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಟೆರಿಬಲ್. Actually, that a small boy, 8-year boy he was. That extremely bad experience he had in his life. Terrible means extremely bad. That he had a very bad experience in his life. That 8 years boy, he wants to mingle with other friends, he wants to play with other friends, he wants to laugh and enjoy with his friends. But it's not possible to him. He restricted to his bed only. That everything becomes silent in his life. So it was very horrible and terrible to that boy. The doctors did not know the cause, except that it was caused by medicines given to treat his legs. That what happened here, children? That parents showed to so many doctors, but no one understood actually what is the problem. That they were all suggesting that legs operation had no that time they gave some treatment. Due to that adverse effect of the treatment only this boy lost the hearing capacity. That adverse that medicines given for treatment no that may be reason for this problem of hearing problem of that boy. ಲೆಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಅದರದ್ದೇ ಏನು ಓವರ್ ಡೋಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕಾಲು ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಕಿವಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Due to his frequent absence and his hearing problem, the school he was attending till then informed his father, Mr. Avatar Narayan, that they couldn't keep Satish. See, he was becoming again and again absent, means that the school, the teachers will telling this one only, no? That if a child is continuously absent means that they told that parent, that Satish's father, his name is Mr. Avatar Narayan. They called him and said, we can't keep your child in our school because he is very irregular and very ill. So we can't keep your child in our school. We will have to look for a new school, his father said. That when that which school he was studying, no, that school, that teacher called him and told that they won't keep this child in the school because he was becoming again and again absent and irregular to school and his health also not in good condition. It seems that father said that we will look after one more new school. Satish shook his head saying no. That Satish said no, I won't go to any school because if I am going to some other school means there will be same problem will occurs. I will become again and again ill and they will also they were also not be ready to take me inside the school. Then it's will be again problem. So I don't want to go to school. ನಾನು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವನಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಫಾದರ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. He did not want to go to school where he couldn't talk to other children, where everyone would make fun of his deafness. So we should not make joke, no children, that disability, physical disabilities, we should not do joke. That some have sight problems, some have hearing problems. We should not do any joke upon them. But what happens, it will happen everywhere. So what that Satish did, ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ನನಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಅವ್ರ ಜೋಡಿ ಮಿಂಗಲ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನನ್ನ ಜೋಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಗುತ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಮಗು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಓನ್ಲಿ 8 years ಬಾಯ್ he was. Beta, you have to go to school and learn. That his father convinced, no, you should go to school, you should learn, you have good future. ನೀನು ಓದದೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮನೇಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರ ಫಾದರ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಇನ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್? ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ದಟ್ education is very important to each and everybody. Is it children? That his father asked, without education what you are going to achieve in your life? How will be in your future? How you are? ಓದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರ ಫಾದರ್ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. He asked his son. Satish heard snatches of his word but knew what he was saying. That actually he was unable to hear, but with his lips movement and all, he understood what father is going to tell to him. After a lot of persuasion, he finally agreed to go along to the new school. That his father so much convinced, his parents so much convinced him that he should go to school and get the education. Then finally, after so much persuasion, he agreed to go to new school. But this school did not want him for the same reason. But they were in new school, they went for admission. But in that school, they were not ready to admit this boy only in the school. That is a school for normal boys. Why don't you take your son to the school for a deaf and dumb children? Asked the headmaster of the school bluntly. Bluntly means frankly. That he said, that headmaster of that new school, he said to Mr. Avatar Narayan, that father of Satish, that he said that why can't you go to school is meant for deaf and dumb. You should go and join your son there only. This school is for only ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್. ಈ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗು ಕಿವುಡ ಇದೆ, ಕಿವುಡ ಮತ್ತು ಮೂಕಸಾನಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗುನ ಸೇರಿಸ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಹಿ ಟಾಕ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಟು ಸತೀಶಸ್ ಫಾದರ್. Avatar Narayan was angered that he got angry with the words of that principal. My son is not dumb, sir. His hearing is a little bad. He was not ready to accept the problem of his son. He said he is not a dumb. Means avanu kivuda alla. But he had only hearing problem. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವನು ಕಿವುಡ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನು ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸತೀಶ್ ಫಾದರ್ is not ready to agree the disability of his son. He is under treatment and will soon be fine, he argued, but in vain. That he argued with the principal, that he said to go to deaf school, no? That time that Satish father argued that actually he is not deaf. He will hear little bit. He is under treatment. ಅವನು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. He will be all right. ಬೇಗ ಗುಣ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸೋ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರ ಫಾದರ್ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದೇನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. Other schools had the same to say. In despair, father and son returned home. See what happened? They became disappointed. Actually, his father wants to make him to join new school, but in all school principals, they said the same answer and they advised him to admit in a deaf and dumb school. But his father is not ready to admit him there because he is telling that his son is not deaf. ಅವನು ಕಿವುಡ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತವೆ. Now he is under treatment. ಅವನು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. He will be soon all right. This type he is convincing, but that the principals, headmasters were not ready to admit him in their schools. Though Avatar Narayan felt shattered, he wouldn't give up hope. That he became helpless, but he was not ready to lose his hopes. After the unsuccessful expedition to the school, Satish became very moody. That expedition is journey with a purpose. They wants to admit him, no? So they went so many schools. They met so many principals, but the answer was same. They were not ready to admit this boy in their school because he is a deaf. But when they went to so many schools in the city, when the same answer came, no, that Satish became very silent and he became very moody. He won't come out of his room also. He couldn't talk freely with anyone because he was unable to hear a single word. That he stopped to talk with others also, because if he asked something, if they replied something, he was not able to listen, no. So he will be ashamed with that one. So he stopped to talk with anybody. Frankly, he was not ready to talk with anyone. He stopped talking also. His brother Inder sat for hours with him and talked to him, teaching him words and pronunciations. His brother Inder, that he was sitting with this boy. Hours together he was sitting and talking with this Satish, and he was explaining the lesson, pronunciation, everything he was doing, his brother. Unable to bear the taunts and teasing of children in the neighborhood, Satish even avoided going out to play. That small children, other small children, they were started to tease him, no, about his deafness. He stopped to go to play also. He started to remain in house only. He was not ready to talk with anybody. He was not ready to mingle with anybody. He was not ready to play with other children of the neighborhood, because they will tease him, they will laugh on him. So he stopped to go out of the house. His father and Inder spent time with him every day, talking to him, trying to teach him things. If you want to get on in life, you have to read a lot. You can learn a great deal of things just by reading, his father told Satish, giving him an armful of books. That his father, he was bringing the books, so many books, ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. Read and understand. And they were in their brother and his father, they both were helping this boy to read and to understand the lessons. They were bringing so many books. His father was purchasing the books and bringing the books to read, but it was waste because he was not ready to read. Satish lived through them the life of Garibaldi, translated into Urdu by Lala Lajpat Rai, the works of Munshi Premchand, Sarat Chandra and several others. He started to read the book. Lived means read carefully. That time he started to read carefully. That time what happened? He read one book, that Life of Garibaldi, and that one in Urdu translated by Lala Lajpat Rai, and he read so many books of Munshi Premchand and Sarat Chand. So many other writers, authors' book also he read in the home. So here this is the first part up to paragraph 19. I did. So you read the lesson and try to understand the hard words of the lesson. I will continue lesson in the next part. Thank you.